this game.
Thank you.
We have it on. I don't know. Like, I know. Can we hurry up? I want to see the end of this.
I talk fast anyway. It seemed that two components that define your season define this game: your defense and your depth.
Yeah, no question. This was just a really inspiring team win. Everybody that played had their fingerprints on this. We clearly had some adversity in this game, not having Kyle or Jimmy, and our group doesn't even blink. That's not even something we have to address. We just pivot and put in the game plan, and everybody just gets ready, tapes their ankles, and gets out there and competes. Defensively, there are some incredibly inspiring plays. All game long. I mean, the first half we were forcing some turnovers, with some of the press, but even in the second half, that was some really tough work that the guys were doing with multiple efforts and all that. And we got some timely scores. They stepped up their defense, but I thought Bam was just tremendous. It was just winning basketball all the way around. And Vic was really good again. He was able to generate some looks for us in the paint, and we just carried it through to the end. We had to get. I thought it was fitting as well that we had to get this game with a stop at the end.
You spoke a little about the defense, but before the series, you also talked about how the Hawks had such an explosive offense. How are you guys able to slow them and slow Trey?
I'm not sure. I mean, it takes like a ridiculous amount of multiple efforts. I mean, you have to extend your defense. We're basically extending it 94 feet just to try to get the ball out of his hands, to wear on him. Then you cross half court, and your normal pick-and-roll defense is extended at least 12, 14 feet further than it normally would be. And that just makes the court, bigger. So guys had to cover a lot of ground. It doesn't always work perfectly, but if you're making those multiple efforts, you just have to try to make it tough. And our guys were really committed to that side of the floor, through these 5 games.
If you want the update, Ja hit a layup to win it.
You've got to be kidding me. No way.
Yes.
TD, how come we don't have the TVs on in here? I thought this was going overtime for sure. I should have known better. I did see the highlight of that dunk, though. Whoa.
So, kind of forgot my question.
Yeah, we digress.
We digress to other matters. With, obviously, Jimmy hurt, Kyle's deal, PJ was not 100%, obviously. How valuable are the 6 days? I mean, I know you won't be off the whole time, of course, but how valuable is the rest before round 2?
I mean, next couple of days, while we just watch what's going on, I just want everybody living in the training room, and go back to our cave, bandage up, hopefully get healthy, and then we'll see what happens, in that series. But definitely the guys have earned a couple days of just quality rest and treatment.
Max Strus in 67 seconds, 10 points. How critical or just inspiring almost was that stretch by Max there?
Yeah. And those were, that extra effort, and Gabe got the breakaway. A lot of guys may just kind of jog, and just assume that would be a play at the rim and a score, but Max just finished it off, with an extra effort. They made a great effort, to get a block, and he tips it in, and then it was the Gabe and Max show from there. Just their pressure full court, and it wasn't even necessarily fully to our system. They were just like hair on fire, like just trying to make some plays and change the momentum, and they got a couple of really good traps and made some good reads, and the ball found, Max. At that point, I think we were 0 for 3, 0 for from the three-point line until that point, and then he got uncorked, and that was just a great stretch because it was all fueled by, really inspiring defense and able to score, off those stops.
Obviously, you never want to miss a playoff game, but it seemed like Kyle and Jimmy were coaching guys whenever they had a chance. I mean, how cool was that to see? Just them so engaged.
That was their job tonight. That was it, and that's what they both do really well. All our veterans are really great about that, and that's I've mentioned that many times this year. You can develop young guys, all that you want, and we do. It's probably over the top, what we do in terms of the work and everything with young guys, just to give them a full chance to improve and explore their best version. But what really kicks it into another gear is the veteran leadership of just infusing confidence. And that's what Kyle has done the entire year. And he was out there coaching. He gave me some tips, except for he told me to challenge that on the baseline. But that was, I think that was a good one to challenge. And they just infused, just great life into our guys. And particularly when it got a little bit, uneven, guys were just coming back to the bench and they see Jimmy and Kyle like right in there in the mix. It's hard not to just gain confidence from that.
Spo, can you walk us through the decision to go with Victor? And then, you've been through all sorts of playoff games in your career. It's kind of a special moment for him, considering the stakes and what he's been through the last 4 years.
Yeah, it really was. And I really admire him. I do, for this journey, really, for the last 3 seasons, where he's been dealing with, injuries and frustration, and then, really working to make himself available for us without a guarantee to play, and just giving to the team. That's why everybody roots for him, and he's always comes in, with a smile on his face and lifts people up, and that's even when he was going through DNPs. But he worked, he prepared, and it's true. Crazy things happen, and if you're, there's a karma to it. If you do the right things and you stay patient, it might not be on your terms or your timeline, but then when your opportunity is there, you're able to take advantage of it, and then you have everybody, enjoying his success. It's been a long journey, for him to get to this point, and we're just thrilled for him. And the decision on that was to try to keep our rotation as much as possible. There's so many moving parts that, at this point, I can't keep the consistency of the rotation exactly the way it was, but this is the closest we could get to it. Guys in their normal, comfortable roles, and then, Vic came out, like gangbusters, to start the game, and he was just a really good trigger for us, even in that fourth quarter, to be able to get in the paint and make some plays.
I know defense is always first, second, and third around here, but, and you draw up plans because you believe they're going to be successful, but did the plan you drew up for Trey kind of exceed what you thought might have been possible? He's obviously very dynamic, and he never really had a moment, in this series, and certainly never had a moment to himself.
Yeah, it's fully born out of great respect. We had a little bit of the benefit of watching the play-in, where they just torched Charlotte, for 132 points, and you can see that offensive firepower. And then the Cleveland game, and you saw what Trey was able to do in that second half. That catches everybody's attention. And we had a few days to prepare. Regardless, we didn't know exactly who the opponent would be while we were really grinding and practicing, but you knew it was going to be, pick and roll basketball either way, and you're going to have to try to make it tough. He's a tough challenge. He really is. And it really took everybody making multiple efforts, to try to deny him the ball, deny him some of his comfort stuff, and do it with discipline. And on down the line, Gabe, PJ, Vic, Caleb, Kyle, Jimmy, everybody took their turns on him, and that really helps if you're trying to wear somebody down. All right. Go ahead.
Kind of on the same lines of the defense. You guys have obviously been one of the top-rated defenses all season, but this stretch, is this maybe the best you've seen your team defensively?
I'm not sure. It's not apples to apples, because I thought we had some really great stretches, during the regular season, and you don't develop a top 5 defense just in a few weeks, we developed a lot of really good habits with our full roster. You know, with different schemes and different, rotations with guys in and out. This is just, you get to the playoffs, the intensity level on both sides, gets to another gear, and it was a better version from that standpoint. It was respect and then the intensity of the playoffs.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.